Okay, give me 1 second. Just gonna check something real quick. Okay, that's that meeting. Okay, checking something. You might hear something, so give me a sec. That's our last meeting that I'm bringing up for a second here. So I'm just going to mute for 1 moment. Can everybody hear me? There you go. Sorry about that. Okay, so tonight we're gonna go over the sheet again. I want to go over the sheet again to make sure everybody's on the same page and everybody understands what's happening. Glad to see everybody here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over the Excel sheet again. Okay. Before we start though, does anybody have any questions? I'll also let you know I'm going to give you a link. I'm going to give you a link tonight to be able to review the videos. Okay, both videos will be up. You'll be able to access them first thing in the morning. You'll be able to access both videos. Okay. So tonight's video and last week's video will be available to you tomorrow morning. Okay. Yay! Yeah. Okay. So it'll be good. Thank you. So yeah, we'll get that up. We'll get that up tonight. I want you to be excited and motivated to get things going. I'm more than happy to. Give me 1 second, folks. Just give me 1. Okay, sorry about that. So what I want you to do is I want you to watch the videos. What I'll do is, you guys want, I can open all the videos up for you. There's a lot though. There's probably over 100 videos. Um, yeah, I can do that. If you guys want, you can watch. There's tons about, there's evaluations of property. The last, because I took 4 months off, I told you. So the last video I posted was a few months ago. But it goes back 2 years. It goes back 2 years. Okay, 2 years. So if you guys want to, okay, I can do that for you. No problem. There's a lot of videos though. I'm telling you. Yeah. You're welcome to all of them. You're part of the family now, and everything that I have to give you, I will give you. Okay, you don't even worry about it. So I'm excited to share all this stuff with you, and get things going for you. Okay, so the 2 videos though, this week's and last week's, are going to be up tomorrow morning. Okay, but I can give you access to all the other videos. I can give you that link tonight. Okay, so you can, but some of this stuff is more advanced, okay? So that's why I separate you from the other group, because I want to walk through this with you, so you have the attention, right? So I'm not reviewing stuff for the other groups, okay? So is everybody okay with this time? Are we going to stay with this time of 9:30? Does everybody want to stay with this time? Are we good with 9:30? Okay. Can we do 9? Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing 9 o'clock. Could we all make 9 o'clock? Is that okay? I know some of you have kids and you're putting them to bed. Is there anybody that 9 o'clock would be tough? They couldn't make it 9 o'clock. Is everybody in for 9 then? Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Who was it? I remember. Who was I talking to that was, let me try to remember who it was that I was talking to that wanted to, that was asking for 9:30 because of the kids. I remember that. Who was that? Do you remember who was telling me that that's about time they put their kids to bed? Anybody? Nobody remember that? Oh, you did? Juan did? Yeah. Rob. Oh. Oh, okay. So no worries. No worries. So we'll. It looks like he might be putting the kids to bed now. All right. So no worries. We'll go with 9 o'clock next week. Moving forward, 9 o'clock is going to be our new time. Okay. Everybody's good with that? Good. All right. So, all right, folks, I'm going to share my screen with you, and we're going to go over the sheet one more time, okay? Okay? And then I'll explain some of the points that we were making, and I'll use the whiteboard to explain that, okay? Okay, good. All right, let's share my whiteboard. All right. Oops. Share my screen. Okay. Okay. All right. So we're looking at this again, okay? And we talked about the things that we were talking about were these things down here. Okay, gross rent multiplier and cap rate, R value and cash flow per unit, right? We're trying to understand how to evaluate a property, right? No worries, Vanessa. So when we look at this, the area that I really want to focus on are these 2 ones: gross rent multiplier and cap rate tonight. Okay, just want to talk a little bit about those and better understand them. Okay, now I can't hear. Juan, you can't hear me? Can anybody else? Does anybody else have a problem hearing? Can everyone else hear me? I can't. I can hear you okay. I can hear you good. I can hear you clearly. Good. I'm okay. I can. Good, good, good. Okay, so Juan, can you hear me? Just give me 1 second. I'm just gonna. Can you hear? Try opening and closing and opening the window. Closing and opening new window. Okay, so we're gonna let Juan do that again to open and close the window. Okay, hopefully you can hear. Okay, so if anybody ever has sound issues, and you can see, I'll ask, and other people say you can hear, just close your window and open it again. Usually that fixes the problem. Okay? Okay, so the areas that I wanted to focus on were gross rent multiplier and cap rate, and understanding why we'd like to see a 6 and why cap rate is important to be around a 10. Okay, it doesn't have to be a 10, but 10 is nice. We like to see a 10. Now 7.3, we can still make that cash flow and make money with it. We're just going to use creative financing. But 10 really is when you see a 10, it's a great deal. You know it's a great deal. So what I want to do, does anybody have questions about gross rent multiplier or cap rate? No? Can everybody hear me still? Okay. This is where you jump in and you say, okay, I got you. All right, good, good, good. All right, so what I want to do actually is I'm going to hop off of this page for a second, okay? And I'm going to explain it over here, okay? Okay. So let's look at some basic things when we're looking at, gross rent multiplier and cap rate, okay? So when we look at GRM, GRM, okay? When we look at GRM, we said that we'd like to see a 6 GRM, okay? And if everybody remembers, the way we do that is we take purchase price, right? And we divide it by gross rent, okay? Okay? Gross rent, okay? So if the purchase price was $100, that's per year, right? Gross rent per year. So if the purchase price was $100K, that was the purchase price. We divide it by, let's say it's $1,000 a month. So 1,000 times, that's per month, right? Per month times 12 would give us how much? 12K. Okay. So if we divide 12K by 100K, 100K by 12K, that'll give us the GRM. Okay. It's good if you could bring, a notepad just so you can take notes and you can follow along. You can actually do these calculations. It really helps. So when we look at 100K and we divide it by 12,000, we get, what do we get? Someone tell me what we get. Equals, exactly. Did everybody get that? Did everybody get that? Good. Good. Excellent. All right. Did anybody not get it? Did anybody not get it? It's okay if you didn't. Okay, we're all good? Good. Now let's look at cap rate. So cap rate right, is net operating income, right? Net operating income divided by purchase price, okay? So net operating income, this one, right? What is net operating income? Well, this is, let's just do a different color here. So this would be gross income, right? Gross income, right? Minus expenses equals net operating income. Everybody got that? Okay. So gross income, and that would be the rent, right? So let's go back to the example of the $100,000 property and $12,000 coming in per year. So if we have a gross income So this is the gross income equals, we know, 12K, right? That's from the last example, right? $12,000, $1,000 a month, that's what it brings in. But we have to minus it from expenses. So expenses equals minus 6K. Say it's 50%. What does that leave us? It leaves us net operating income of how much? 6K. Everybody got that? Good. So our gross income from rents was $1,000 a month. So times that by 12, that gives us a 12K. Then we have expenses. And the expenses for the year are $6,000. Let's say $6,000. So that gives us a net operating income of 6K. That's where net operating income comes from, right? So then what we do is we divide net operating income, 6K, divided by the purchase price, which was how much? Everybody remember what the purchase price was on this property? 100K, right? So 6K divided by 100K gives us, so what a cap rate equals what? What does the cap rate equal? Good. Good. Excellent. 6. That's right. Exactly right. Yep, decimal 06 is 6, right? 6%. Or you multiply that by 100, and that'll give you a 6, right? So the cap rate is a 6. Does that make sense to everybody? So we'll do it one more time over here on a new sheet. Okay, so whiteboard here. Okay, so we have net operating income equals 6K per year, right? Per year. And then we have the purchase price equals 100K. And we said, what do? We take net operating income divided by purchase price equals 6K divided by 100K, okay, equals decimal 06, and we multiply that by 100, okay, to give us 6. Okay, everybody see that? Good. It's the same thing as 6%, really. Okay, what is that telling us? That's telling us that the property, after we pay all our bills, if we paid cash for this property, 100K, we would make 6% on our money. That's really what it's saying. That's all it's saying, but it's pretty important. So we're making 6% on our money, 6% on our money for this purchase of 100K, right? For this investment of 100,000. Now, this would give us a cap rate, right, of 6. Now, 6 is kind of the bottom where we would want to be, the very bottom of where we'd want to be for a low cap rate. We'd rather see a cap rate of 10, right? And to get the cap rate of 10, can anybody just type it in? Can anybody tell me what the net operating, so if the purchase price of a property, purchase price equaled 100K, what would I need my net operating income to be to get a 10 cap rate? To get a cap rate equaling 10. There you go. Does everybody see that? We'd have a net operating income of 10K. That would get me 10. Everybody see that? Does anybody not see that? It's okay if you don't. It's okay if you don't. This is where I want you to tell me you're not clear on this. And if you're not, it's okay. You say it, because someone might also feel the same way. And I want you all to feel like you're getting this. And it's okay. We're going to do this lots of times, over and over again, right? So you'll have an opportunity to see this over and over again. So repetition is a big part of what we do. I want you to feel confident, in what you're doing. And I promise you, if you come to these Tuesday meetings, and I'm just going to have you guys in the meeting, just you guys, we'll be able to take this together. Okay, so I'm going to commit myself to you guys every Tuesday, unless there's holidays and times come up where I'm not able to be on the call. But for the most part, we're going to do this 40 plus times this year over the next 12 months. So you're going to be fine with your training and with everything that we're doing. You'll be fine. Okay. Okay. How do you bring it up? How do you bring up? My pleasure. I want to be part of your success story for sure. So, CM, what do you mean? How do you bring it up? How do you bring what up? NOI, net operating income. Okay, so remember, how did we get net operating income? So we have net operating income equals, right, income, right, minus expenses, right? And this is for the year. Does that make sense? Oh, I see what you're saying. How do you get how do you get the how do you get the cap rate to go up? Is that what you mean? I'm sorry. Okay. The way you get the cap rate up, a couple of people have already said it. So we can either increase our income, which is our rent. So this this would help us. We could get our rent, right? Give me 1 second here. So a couple ways we can get that to go up is rent. So rent, right? Rent can go up. We can make that go up. We can make the expenses go down. That would be good. Those can help. So if we can get the income to go up and the expenses to go down, that will help. Yeah, exactly. Everyone, you got it. You got it. You got it. Okay? There's one more way to move it. How do we move it? One more way. Who could tell me? Yes. Purchase price. If this goes down to 50K, the cap rate's gonna, double. What if the market won't let you? You mean the income or the expenses? Is that what you mean? What if the market won't let the income or the expenses move? Is that what you mean? Yeah, the income. So if the market says no to this and no to this, right? So it says I can't move this and I can't move this, and it says I can't move this, and the cap rate say was a 3, what would we do? So if the income couldn't be moved, the expenses can't be pushed down, and the purchase price is too much. Yeah, not buy. Just move on. Exactly. You got it. Walk away. Exactly. And you're going to be so good at evaluating properties, it'll take you inside 5-6 minutes, for you to figure that out. Yeah, no deal. That's it. You got it. You got it. There's something powerful about knowing why you're saying no to a deal, right? Not because you're scared, not because you don't understand. You completely understand, and you realize it's not a good investment for you, and that's huge to be able to do that. That's massive to be able to do that. So we can't make mistakes. We can't we can't let this get away from us. We have to make sure that every investment we make makes us money. Okay? Does that make sense to everybody? Good? Awesome. Okay, now let me show you something. So why do we want a 6 cap rate or around 6 cap rate? So you remember, sorry, not 6 cap rate, 6 GRM. So remember, GRM is a cool number. GRM is a cool number. Why? Because all I need is purchase price and gross income, right? Gross income. Most listings are going to give you all that, at least that, right? Purchase price and gross income. So the purchase price is 100K, and they'll say, the gross income for the year, or so they'll say the rent's, somebody says to you, I got a house for sale. Oh, what do you want for it? 100K. And what's the rent? They say, oh, the rent's, $1,200 a month. And you go, okay, that's great. Just based on this, you can calculate GRM. So if we take, $1,200 a month times 12, how much is that? Someone do the math for me. 1,200 times 12. Good. So we know this is 14,400, and we divide 100K, right? The purchase price, 100K, by 1440, and that gives us a GRM of what? So 100,000 divided by 14.4 equals how much? Good. Good. 6.94, or 95 really. We round up. 95. Okay, everybody with me? Okay, you guys are smart. This is a good group. Sam, when do you walk away from a deal in regards to GRM? So let's say that the GRM, what's the upper limit? So let me show you, why this is important and how it follows. Let's say, just for now, I tell you the upper limit. When you start getting into double digits, it gets tough to make it work. Okay, and I'm going to show you why. It's not impossible. If you get to 15, it's virtually impossible. Okay, but let me explain why. So if we have a GRM, so we have a property, 100K purchase price, and the gross income equals 14,400. Okay, let's say. Okay, just the property we were doing. Okay, immediately when I'm looking at a property, if this is all the information I have, I'm going to assume that the expenses are going to be half of that, 7,200. Okay, everybody with me? I'm just going to assume the expenses are going to be 7,200. Okay, 50% to be safe. Yes? Okay, good. So based on that, how much is going to be left? 7,200. Yes? That's going to be when what? Net operating income. Everybody see that? If I take 50% of it away, I assume that I'm only going to keep about 7,200 of the money here. Okay? Now, immediately, what is that going to tell you about our cap rate? What's going to be our cap rate? 7.2. Good. Good. Okay, everybody with me? So all I've got is GRM really. But I can immediately start making some quick assumptions. And why is it important to have, a good GRM? Because a good GRM is going to produce a good cap rate, right? And then the cap rate, say, is 7.2. Okay? So let's say the cap is 7.2, which is the same as saying what? I'm going to make 7.2% on this investment if I pay cash, right, everybody? Everybody see that, right? That's if I paid cash, though. Keep that in mind. But what I want to do is I want to make this 7.2 higher. So I'm going to get financing, right? So if I get financing, what's the max I can pay in financing charges? That's including bank financing, creative financing combined. What's the max I can pay? Right? If I did 100% financing, the max I could pay in creative financing is 7.2. Everybody with me? If you're paying 7.2% on your financing and you make 7.2 if you paid cash, the net of this is going to be big fat zero. That's not good enough. So the question becomes, well, creative financing. Can we find creative financing that's in the 5 to 6 range percent? Because if it's 5 to 6, I can still do this deal. But I want you to imagine if the cap rate's 10, right? My cap rate's 10, that's 10%. How much could I pay for creative financing? 7%, and I'll still make 3% with no money in. Everybody see that? This is why the cap rate, we want the high cap rate, right? Because high cap rate allows us to use creative financing. Okay, is everybody with me? Is anybody lost at this point? Because if you are, it's okay. But we want the high cap rate because the high cap rate allows us to be more flexible with financing. No problem, Christine. Can you tell me which part I lost you at? $10.73. Okay, no problem. So the cap rate is 10 on a property, let's say, Christine, right? We got a 10 cap rate. We got a property that's producing a 10 cap rate. We know that we can use creative financing up to 7%. It's going to cost us 7% a year for our creative financing. That'll still leave us 3% profit. You see that? You still don't know the purpose of GRM. Oh, you got it? Good. Okay. So GRM was important to us, right? Because GRM allows us to know a lot about a property with just having the income and the price, purchase price, right? So Christine, when you come across properties, people say, "Well, I got a property," and you're like, "Okay, what's it for? Like, how much are you selling it for?" "I'm selling for 100,000." Great. "What's the rent?" "Oh, the rent's 1,000 a month." Okay, just based on that, Christine, you can do a quick calculation and know if there's an opportunity. Does that make sense? So if you have, to give you an example, if you have a, the guy says, "Oh, I got a 100K property," right? That's purchase price, and the monthly rent's $500 per month. Okay, that's going to be 6K per year, right? You with me? Does that make sense, Christine? Good. Now, for me to get a GRM, I would divide this by this. So 100K divided by 6K. Who can tell me what the GRM is? The GRM is 200. Jason, you good? You maybe you did it the other way. Yeah, it's 16.6. Okay? I told you when you get into 15, double digits, it starts to strain. But when you're in 15, 16, there's not enough money in the deal. And this is why, Christine. If I have a GRM of 16.6, that means that I say the property's 100,000. I'm only making 6K gross income. That's gross income. When I start taking expenses away from this, Christine, there's going to be a big problem. I won't be able to finance the property, right? Because if I assume, right, and this is before we have the hardcore numbers, right? If you have the numbers, use the numbers. But if I assume this 100K property is producing 6K per year, that's gross income, I'm going to minus for expenses half of it, 3K per year, right? That's going to leave me 3K. You with me, Christine? Does that make sense? Good. This is the problem, Christine. That's if we pay cash, if we have 3K. What's going to happen to my profit when I start doing financing? When I start financing this, how much of this is going to be left? I'm going to be negative cash flow, for sure. I don't have enough money from this property to finance it. And can anybody, does that make sense, Christine? Yeah, as a rule, you assume half, but you got to run the numbers, right? Good, Christine, I'm happy. Okay, good. You got to run the numbers, right? You got to run the numbers, but half is safe, right? If it's over half, that might be an opportunity that someone's mismanaging it. If it's below, if someone told me that the expenses on a property were only 15%, that would be a problem. I think there's something wrong. So how much would you need to finance? Well, let's look. This is why we wanted the 10 cap rate. So let's look. Let's do this together, okay? Let's share my screen, okay? Okay. Okay, everybody see that? So let's start looking at this, okay? So look. Yeah, let's take that example. So asking price was 100K. Let's keep everything at 100K, right, for now. So they wanted 100K. The monthly rent was 1,000. Let's say it's just one unit, okay? One unit was $1,000, okay? So I come over here, and I'm going to assume that the expenses are 50%. Here it's 45, but let's assume it's 50%, okay? So I go over to expenses, and I'm just going to add here. I'm going to make this 30. Okay. Oh, the other one was 20. Yeah, 30. Okay. Now, look at the expenses. Expenses, vacancy, maintenance, property management, exact expenses. How much of that of my money is it? 50%. Does everybody see that? So from the 12,000 that I was making from here, from the rents, I'm only keeping 6. Everybody see that? Okay. Good. So what's the cap rate? The cap rate is 6, and the gross rent multiplier is an 8. Now, the 8 is higher than we want, and the cap rate's lower than we want. It's fine. If we bought this for cash, we'd make $6,000, $500 a month. Our value of this property, I don't want you to worry right now, but we'd actually value this at $60K. But let's just assume, forget about the value. We're just looking at GRM and cap rate. Now let's go to financing. So if I did 80-20, just the regular financing, right? Everybody with me? So I put 20% down. I do 80% bank financing. Okay, everybody with me? Okay, so that means that an $80,000 mortgage from the bank at say 30-year mortgage at 2.67. Let's just do 3 for round numbers. Okay, I just want to show you 3. And it used to be, now we're getting 20, but imagine this at 25. We're going to fix that. Let's go to 30 in a minute. That's what my mortgage payment's going to be, $379 per month. Everybody see that? That's the mortgage from the bank at 3%. Okay, if I come down here, the yearly cash flow is $1,457. The monthly cash flow is $121. Does this work for us? How much do we want per door? 100, exactly. And what's my minimum return? It's 10, and we can see that the return is below 10, right? Our return. So the monthly cash flow is fine at 121, but the minimum return is not there. Now let's do a 30-year mortgage. Let's say we get a 30-year. Oh, look, we're there. That's at 9.8, 10%, and the monthly cash flow is 163. This is a good property. Everybody see that? We can make that work, but we needed a 30-year mortgage to make this work. Okay, the financing is very important. Okay, now watch this. Everybody with me? Is everybody clear? We got a property. The GRM was 6. Sorry, the GRM was 8. The cap rate was 6. We still made it work. We still made it work. We have a 10% return and $163 a month. This still works for us. Okay. Now, what if the property was $100,000, but the monthly rent was only $500? Watch what happens. If the rent is $500, give me a second. If the rent's $500, look what the gross rent multiplier is 16.67, way too high. Cap rate's 3, way too low. And look, 80% mortgage, 20% down. Look what happens. I'm negative $86 a month, even with a 30-year mortgage. Everybody see that? So when the GRM is too high and the cap rate's too low, there's no money in the property. There's not enough money in the property. So because of that, that's why we need that cap rate and that GRM to be where we have them, because it'll tell us right away, is there money in this property? The problem with this property is the cap rate and the GRM. The cap rate at 3 means if I paid cash for this house, I'd make only 3%. That's all I would make is 3%. So how am I going to finance it? How am I going to finance it? How am I going to get this to work if I'm already the cap rate's at 3%? If the mortgage is at 3%, my cap rate's at 3%, I'm going to lose money. I'm going to lose money. Does that make sense to everybody? Good. Good. Christy, good. Awesome. Okay, if you are less than 10 cap rate but above 1%, what are the risks? What do you mean above 1%? So just quick for Vanessa's question, as Diana, you keep writing. Okay, as if you don't have a negative, as if you don't have a negative cap rate. Give me 1 second, Vanessa. You can check your market rents by. I'll give you a site right now, folks. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm gonna give you a site. And Diana, if you don't have a negative cap rate, as if you don't have a negative cap rate. Are there sites where you can rent? Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm gonna tell you. Oh, renthub.ca. I've never gone there. But let me show you a different site. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, let me find you another site. So Diana, can you explain that a little bit more for me? Can you give me a cap rate you want me to try, and we'll do it that way? Give me 1 second here. Okay. So let me give you a site right now. Sorry, rentboard. There it is. That's the same exact one I was going to give you. There you go. That's an example of one. Go ahead. You can look at that one. That's exactly the one. Yeah, rentboard.ca. Yeah, exactly. It'll actually give you the rents. Yeah, no worries. No worries. Okay, so I don't want to miss Diana's question. Okay, so Diana, do you want to give me a cap rate to try? In the example, you got a 5.2, which is bad, but if you're still positive, you're saying it needs to be higher than 10%. So when we look at this over here, you're talking about this number right here, right? The 5.2, right? That's the return on investment, right? So if the cap rate is 3, if I paid cash, I'd make 3%. Once I finance it, I'd actually lose 5% on the money I invested. Okay? So if I invested, how much did I invest on this? I invested out of pocket $20,000. The ROI that I'm calculating is how much do I make on my $20,000? Not the whole amount, because I didn't pay cash for it, right? I paid $20,000 for this property. So my return is based on that $20,000. Well, if I'm losing $86.48 a month, I'm going to lose 5% of my money, 5.2% of my $20,000 per year, basically. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so if the cap, what I need is like a minimum of 6 cap rate to make this work. Okay, so let's say I had, we'll go back to the 1,000. So if I had 1,000 here, the cap rate's a 6. I'd like to see a 10. Doesn't have to be a 10, but a 6. With a 6 and a 30-year mortgage, I can make this work, right? 9.8% return and 163. Now let me tell you what I would do. I would even try to make this better. Let me show you some creative financing. I would first try to say, okay, well, what if I only put 10% down? Because that's really what I want to do, is want to bring in an investor, okay? If I put 10% down, how much will it improve my position? Well, if I get a 30-year mortgage from someone and I'm willing to pay 7, what happens? Well, my cash flow goes down, obviously, to about just under $100, $97, but my return goes up to 11.7. Everybody see what I did? By bringing somebody into the deal, I do make less cash flow, but my return is higher. Does everybody see the value of that? Appreciation is great when it comes, but we don't count on it, right? CM, right? We don't count on appreciation. When it comes, we love it. But you don't want to bank on it. You don't want to make your poor numbers look better because of appreciation. You can see we have appreciation down here, right? And if I go, 6 all the way down, that'd be pretty nice, right? Over a 5-year period, I'd add another 33,000 to this property, which is great, right? But I can't count on that money. I can't count on it. So what I want to look at is, what do I get paid now? How much am I going to make now on this property, right? That's what I'm looking for. Does that make sense? So ROI is more valuable than cash flow. I would say, Vanessa, you're right. I would say, but see, you still have to have rules. You don't want to go under $100 per door, right? So in this example, we might say, well, what about 6? Well, this is optimum. I would tell my investor for 10,000 I could pay him 6, because the numbers tell me. You see what I did there? I changed the return, the interest that I'm paying my investor, to 6%. That gave me 100 a door plus 12.5% return. Does everybody see that? So understanding the creative financing part is huge because you can make this deal worse or better, right? Obviously, we want to make it better, but you want to see what's the best I can do. Now, I won't say, Vanessa, that always return is better than cash flow. The one time I would tell you as an example that I would say, yeah, take the cash flow is if this was the last property you needed to get you out of the rat race. Then I would say it's okay that you're taking a 7% return, instead of a 10% return because your cash flow is going to get you out of the rat race. Does that make sense? Yeah, I mean, it depends what you're looking for, right? I don't think it's a good idea to invest in property or anything really for less than a 10% return. Can you kindly do this sheet if properly is higher purchase price like 1.5 million? Sure. You give me the numbers, I'll put them in. So 1.5 million. Okay. How many units is it? How many units do you want it to be? 20 units. Okay. Good. And how much is the income? Uh, 20. Oh, rest in peace. Reality hits now. How much does it make 600 per unit? Oh, this is going to be rough. So, 600 per unit. Monthly rent is 600 times 20. This should be not 30 because this is the gross rent, monthly rent. So gross would be 6, would be what, 12,000? Right? There you go. So 12,000. Okay? Here we go. Gross rent multiplies to 10. It's right on the edge. Right on the edge. Okay? Cap rate, right on the edge. That's tough. A 5 is going to be tough. Okay? But we'll see what we can do with this property. Okay? Let's try to make it work. Okay? Okay? So if I put in, let's do I'll tell you what this kind of property would work in financing. It would be 65%, 25, and 10. Okay? You put in 10, the seller financing would be 25, bank financing would be 65 because it's a commercial property. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, everybody understands why I did that, right? Bank financing a commercial property that's 5 units plus for most of them, they're gonna give you less. So 65 is a safe number to work with. Okay. Also, okay, good. Also, they might tell you, I don't want to give you a 30-year mortgage. I want to give you a 20-year mortgage because it's a commercial property, shorter term sometimes. Okay. Okay. And maybe I'm going to charge you 3.5%, a little bit higher because it's commercial. Okay. I'm just trying to keep this real for you. Okay. Okay. So if we look at the numbers, we would lose $22,000 a year on this property in the current format. Now, what if, now remember, well, yeah, wait a minute. You see, you're shaking your head, eh? Watch this. What if the guy said to us, well, I'll give you a 3% mortgage? Well, it improves the numbers. We only lose $14,000 now a year, but that's because he's giving us, a long-term mortgage of 30 years at 3%. Okay? What if he said, I'll give it to you at, 1%? It still wouldn't work. We'd still lose $10,000 a year. So what's the problem here? Well, there's a couple problems in this scenario, okay? Is the 30-year mortgage that he's given us is great, and we'd probably be around 6%, I'll tell you, in the market. You'll probably pay about 6%. Your problem is this property doesn't produce enough income, right? This just doesn't produce it. But what they're going to tell you when you look at this property is, oh, don't worry about that. You're building equity. And they'll tell you to do this. They'll say, why don't you put 35% down? You put 35% down, okay? What if you buy below? We'll look at that for sure. Let's say that so this 30-year at 6% doesn't matter because we're putting 35% down. Look, you make $4,000 a year. You make $17.90 per property. So they'll tell you it's okay. You're just about break even. You're making money. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Appreciation is going to make you money. over the next 5 years, it's going to go up $500,000 if it goes at 6%, right? So you're thinking, that doesn't sound so bad. But look at this number. You're making less than 1% return on your money, which is terrible, right? Now, if we get the property down to $1 million, say, okay, $1 million, okay. If we can get down to $1 million, okay, now it's starting to look a little bit better, right? But we're still 7.7%. But look how much you have to bring it down. See, the cap rate's now at 7, and the gross rent multiplier is at 7. So now we can make this property work. There's an opportunity to make this property work. Okay? You see where I'm coming from? Good. So then we reach out to our mortgage broker. We get someone aggressive that's going to give us a 25-year mortgage. Okay? And we get a vendor, right, that's going to give us, and this is why you run the numbers, right? We go 25 and 10, okay? And we say, we get the seller, right? The seller, look where we are already. We get the seller to give us a 5% mortgage. Now look at you. Well, the rent could be increased too, right? I mean, $600 per unit is pretty low. If you told me the building was charging $600 per unit, and I get students sending me properties like this, immediately I'd say, what's the neighborhood like? Right? $600, what's the neighborhood like? Right? $600 is not a lot of money. $600 would probably be, I would guess, I'm not sure, but you might have some subsidies going into that property to pay for the rents, right? Because it's $600. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say it's too low because some areas it's $600. That's what the rent is. It's $600. Now, if the rent was, $1,000 per unit, $1,000 per unit, like this, well, now we're talking. Now we're talking. Now we can do a 20-year mortgage. We're still okay. I can pay this guy, 10% return even. Yeah, I can pay him 10% return on his loan of 25%. And still make this work, right? Student housing, that would be more likely, rooming house would be better, maybe. Student housing at $600, that would be that it might be, but they'd be literally rooms. Student housing are rooms. They're not units, full-blown units. They're basically bachelor pads. They're square, a square box with a toilet and there's no kitchen or anything like that. That would make me think, okay, $600 sounds about right. But it doesn't really matter if it's student housing or not. Income and expenses are real, right? That's what we kind of want to look at when we're evaluating a property. Let me ask just real quick. Did everybody get that link for the rents? Everybody get the link for the rents? Anybody not get it? Good. Okay, I want to give you another one. Okay, hold on one sec. I'll give you another one. Hold on, something else. One second. Can we get this sheet as I have the old one? Yeah, sure you can. Okay. So I also want you to know the Landlord Tenancy Act in Ontario. Okay. Okay, so let me give you that. Yeah, you could do that, Henry. You could do that. I mean, there's lots of ways, right? One second. Second. I'll get to that. Okay, so any questions about anything we've covered tonight? Don't worry, we're going to meet next Tuesday at 9 o'clock, and we're going to go through this all over again, okay? Okay, so good. So don't worry. I don't want you to worry. I don't want you to get nervous. It's fine. We'll be fine. We'll just continue to study this as a group, and we'll continue to learn. Okay. I want you to be excited about this stuff. And if you ever feel like you're overwhelmed, just email me. Okay. You work until 9 p.m. Can we keep it at 9:30? So Vanessa, what I'll do is I'll give you you'll get the link. Just jump in when you can, and you'll get the recording. Okay, is that fair? Because for the rest, for the group, I think 9 p.m. Is that okay? I appreciate that. I appreciate that. How do we get the sheet? Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me get you the sheet. Okay. Okay, hold on 1 sec. Okay, so hold on 1 sec here. Let's do this. Okay, files. I'm just getting the file, folks. Give me 1 second for you guys who didn't get it last week. Okay. That's the file. Just click on that. Just click on that and you can download it, folks. Okay, I'll give you a chance to do that. Okay. Okay. And this here is the Landlord Tenancy Act, where you can find out information. There's forums there. It's a great site. You should have this site. This is for, you know, understanding your rights when you're evicting somebody. How do I evict them? It's all there. Okay, so you can click on that link. Everybody, get that link too. Yeah. Okay, and hold on 1 sec. Let's go. Where am I? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you basically the library of videos that I have, okay? Okay, so let me, okay, no worries. I'm going to give you that library. Hold on 1 sec. What you want to do, and your 2 videos will be up. They'll be up tomorrow morning, okay? They'll be up tomorrow morning, so you can review these videos tomorrow, during the day if you want, the videos that we did this week and last week. But let me get the link for you. Hold on 1 sec. Now, when you do this, the link I'm going to give you, subscribe to the channel, okay? Subscribe to the channel. That way, when the videos are up, you'll see them, okay? So give me a sec here. Okay. One second. So the last, oh wait, this is about financial institution rules. Okay. So I did this video for a small group that we're looking at financing, but it's a good one. It's a good one to look at if you want. But if you subscribe, you'll be able to see them all. Okay. I just had a small group for that one they're asking me about financing. Now I will bring, you'll see some of the videos have, a few views. Some of them have 50, 60, 70, 100 views. Okay. They're all over the place based on what people are interested in, what they see. And like I said, the last video I posted was a couple months ago because I took 4 months off to hang out with my family, which was awesome. So these videos, there's got to be over 100 because it's 2 years old. You'll be able to access all those videos in the library, okay? So let me give you the last one that I did, and this was for financing. Everybody click on that. And you subscribe to it, and that way you'll always know when your videos are up, okay? But this is a library, right? This is, you can access this. I have different groups. I put these videos up for whoever wants them, right? Whoever wants to see videos, they put them up. And you can review as many as you want. There'll be evaluations. You'll see us evaluating properties, and how the process of evaluation is done. It's a great library just to run through. When you got some time, just watch some videos. You can learn a lot. Okay, we talk about cap rate and GRM and all that stuff, and some of it will be reviewed for a lot of you. Okay, everybody got that link? Sam, please do the subscribe style like other YouTubers. Yes, thank you. Yeah, subscribe. You subscribe. Subscribe, folks. Yeah, subscribe. This is really just for my group, my people, for my people. Anybody who needs help. When I do these sessions, sometimes I do them with a small group, just because there's a topic that they want to cover. So you might see, not in that one. I have a separate one for trading. Smash that little button. No worries. Go through the videos. Sorry I have to go. Sam, thank you so much for this one. No worries, and I'll get you, your videos will be up tomorrow, okay? Your videos will be up tomorrow. Okay. Any questions before we go? Everybody good? If you're good, type in yes or Y. Good. I'll see you all 9 o'clock. Remember, folks, 9 o'clock. Show up Tuesday, okay? What do you think of the LL live inside the property? Sam, what do you think? If LL live inside that property? LL. Do you mean LL Cool J? What do you mean by LL? Oh, landlord. Oh. Yeah, you could do that if you wanted. I mean, it's up to you. Really, it's how you feel and how you want to manage those properties. It's really up to you. Yeah, it's really up to you. Well, that's the source of income, right? You're not going to pay for income on that property, but property management, right? And you could technically pay income into the property, rent, but your property management expense would be something different. You'd want to structure that so you get the most out of it, right? But if you wanted to do it, Henry, if you thought it was good for you, then, there's a way you can figure it out for sure. All right, we good, folks? Good. I got some more links and documents for you next week, some contracts, intent to offer, some clauses. We're going to talk about clauses and what clauses to have in your contracts. Okay, very, very important. So we'll see you all next week. Do you have homework? I just want you to evaluate 2 properties a week. That's all. Just 2 properties a week. Okay, evaluate a couple properties. I want you to get used to that. Okay. Remember, a little bit of learning, a little bit of earning, okay? Make sure everybody gets on their on-demand and starts watching those videos. Yeah, you can get the files. It'll be uploaded, Vanessa. It'll be uploaded. All the files are going to be uploaded moving forward, right? So after our meeting, a day, 2 tops, the video will be up. You'll be able to review it, okay, if you miss it. All right. Okay, folks, have a great rest of the week. If you need anything, reach out to me, okay? Awesome. This is going to be a great ride. I'm going to be with you the whole way. Yeah, have a great night yourself, and I'll see you all next Tuesday.